And we're live.
Good morning or
It's
afternoon.
afternoon. We're late today.
Good PM.
Yeah, we did
Yeah.
start. We started at like 11:15. I don't even know what time it is.
Yeah,
We
we're
started an hour ago, which is why I don't have lip gloss on because I lipped it all off.
I forgot to put mine on today.
And that's because we wanted to send two videos out. I could say who they are. One was to Dana Roseman and Angela Carrero to just let them know that we were here today. We know today's Sally's birthday, heavenly birthday. And Bobby Pagini was supposed to be here today and be with us to celebrate, the three of us, because we were all in the same office together.
Yeah.
But second time, did you notice? Only two of us. Like not much we can do because he's busy digging shrubs.
Yeah, he's got to plant some bushes today. Hottest day of the week. And so if you know Bobby Cugini, give him a call later, ask him how he's doing.
Yep. And why wasn't he here to celebrate Sally's birthday with us at
Luna Bakery and Cafe in Moreland Hills.
Why do I forget? I forget it is so convenient to someone. Actually, honestly, no matter where you're at.
Yeah, I mean, anywhere if you're anywhere near 271 in Chagrin, Harvard, Cedar.
Oh, it's so delicious.
Easy to get to.
And Maureen Gibson, I sent you a separate video to remind you of the day that you came in the office and brought me cake from Luna because I had never had it and you knew I loved cake. So, do you like Sage Room night and try to pull ourselves in here?
We're on our third table, by the way.
We are. We have moved 3 times, and it's actually pretty fun. I just want you to know we've had to clean the table each time. You know, I don't do that shit. So we have had to do that.
Yeah.
But we're going to show you really quickly because like almost all my coffees tonight, but dark with cream. It is so delicious, you guys. Even if it's after breakfast time, get yourself a delicious coffee. And it is local coffee, but I haven't had time to ask them because I've been too busy thinking I'm going to miss out on something. So maybe, just so you know though, they have custom cakes there. They have from scratch pastry, from scratch. And crepes and sandwiches. Drew, show them what you got.
Yeah, I got some smoked salmon, avocado toast, pickled red onions to put on it. Looks pretty good. And chocolate cupcake. I thought this was like the coolest container ever. I was like, oh, a single container for a cupcake. Well, when I looked a little closer, I realized it's just an upside down cup. So
it is.
It's not as neat as I originally thought, but it's a good use of it.
It is a good use of it. And I said to Drew, I saw on TikTok the other day, a gal took a bowl, and rather than putting the cake in the bowl and putting the lid on, she flipped it, put the cake on the lid, and put the cover over it. Just like a cake stand.
Yeah.
I really thought that was cool.
Sometimes you just got to change your perspective on things.
Which brings us, before we bring us to changing perspective, I just want you to know that I had to eat my cookie. Is this not the sweetest thing? Can you see it? Isn't this adorable? And I got to tell you, it's really delicious. I took one little bite, and then I took another little bite, and I'm like, Drew, I'm just going to show it to him, looking like this, because I'm going to eat this before I leave here.
Yeah.
But talking about perspective, do you want to talk about your coffee?
My coffee's good.
It is cold.
Cold brew, oat milk. A little disappointed that they don't have the pink packets here to sweeten it up, so had to go with the natural sugar because I'm not a fan of Splenda. So.
Well, and you know, we're supposed to be doing the top 25 of Cleveland Magazine's top 25 coffee shops. But we were a little short on time today, and we wouldn't be short on time if we could talk for an hour before we go live. But this was not on there, and I just wanted you to know that because we just both forgot about it, and I'm so glad we came back. But talking about perspective, Drew, well, you had a really good point.
Yeah, so last week we were talking about some of the changes for buyers in real estate, and I reminded Michaeline today that there's a big day coming up for sellers for all of our past clients. On August 17th, they're going to start receiving notifications in the mail that they could potentially opt into the class action settlement from all the lawsuits that if they've sold a home, I believe it's within the last 5 years, that they might be entitled to some compensation.
And I said, what do you mean, Drew?
Yeah.
Because you know why? We're getting all these awesome, and I mean they are great. Listen, we just got a big, huge packet today from NAR.
Yeah.
And I said, Minty, could you run these off so I can, make a cup of coffee, sit down, and read them? And I haven't gotten to them, all of them yet. And Drew brought that up today. I'm like, Drew, why? Why would they get compensation?
Well, I know every brokerage I've been with, when you go to sell a house, you sign a document called a listing agreement,
Mm-hmm.
and it's spelled out in there that it's going to cost this. X goes to the listing brokerage, and Y goes to the brokerage that brings the buyer.
Mm-hmm.
Well, in another states, I don't think their paperwork was as good as it was here. And unfortunately, there were some sellers that said they didn't understand that they were paying the buyer's agent or the buyer's broker. And unfortunately, the case didn't go our way. The realtors lost in that case. And unfortunately, the powers that be in the industry decided the best route forward was to settle. So majority of the brokerages have opted into that settlement. And it is a nationwide thing. So
Most of them, right, Drew?
Most of them. There are a few that have not opted in yet. I am with one of those. EXP has not settled yet. The other big one in our area, Howard Hanna, has not settled. But all the other big companies have settled already. Remax, Keller Williams, Berkshire, Real.
Berkshire was on the late side.
Yeah, they were on the late side.
Mm-hmm.
So.
And this is what I love about having Drew. That's why you should really watch us. Not for me, because I can be an ass, but this one is going to be the next ACAR president next year. So he is like all over everything. And I learn a really lot from him. Because, not that I don't love my market center, I do, and our broker, Rick Tannenbaum, is phenomenal. And everybody that's there to teach us, including Gary Keller, every day there is something to learn and to discuss and ask questions about. But that was something that I didn't pay attention to, and I'll tell you why. Because I know that when I go on a listing agreement and I get it signed, my seller knows with a net sheet exactly what their bottom line is going to be.
Yeah.
They know what the commission is, and they know how I'm splitting it, which, I brag about this all the time. I split my commission. Just because I'm so appreciative of my colleagues, and I love that most of us work so well together, and that they're coming to look at my listing, and they trust that my pictures are really going to look like the house, and that I'm going to do everything I can to make it a win-win for seller and buyer. And I know I repeat that a lot, but I have to tell you, that's the way of our business.
Yeah.
It's got to be a win for everybody. But that's why I was glad that Drew shared that with me today, so that I know going forward, if I have a seller in the future and they ask me about that, I'm going to be able to answer that question.
Yeah. Yeah, you just say, hey, do you remember when we met to, put your house on the market, when we went over the paperwork? It was in the listing documents what it was going to cost, who was going to get what, who was paying for what, and then, again, at the time of closing, when they're signing either their closing disclosure or their settlement statement,
they know.
It's broken down on there too. So,
and that's what I love about having Mindy, is that she double checks all that stuff, as you do as well.
Yeah.
So that's what I appreciate, and very seldom are there any mistakes, just because we all signed everything we needed to sign.
Yeah. Yeah. So you might get the postcard in the mail. You might be entitled to something. I've heard anywhere from $15 to $40. So,
Oh, I didn't hear it.
Not a whole lot.
It'd be enough for me to get, though, to go buy more cookies.
Yeah, you get yourself a coffee, burrito, Chipotle, maybe a pizza. Depends on where you order your pizza from. But
so we're gonna shorten it today, just because I'm not sure why. Probably because we should work.
Probably.
We're going to be back next week. We're not sure where we're going because we have about 9 more places to hit up before the end of the year. I don't foresee that being a problem, do you?
No, we'll get there.
Cheers, Drew.
Cheers.
Have a really great day.
You too.
It's my turn, by the way.